Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and in this session we are going to talk about vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. Okay, and in our previous session, of course this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is meant for 5th September 2020. And as 5th September every year is celebrated at Teachers Day, I wish your parents who are teachers a very happy Teachers Day. And coming back, we were talking about cloning vectors. And cloning vectors, as you know, vectors are DNA molecules that carry a foreign DNA segment and replicate inside the host cell. They are also known as vehicle DNA or carrier DNA. They are engineered in such a way that they help easy linking of foreign DNA and selection of recombinants from non-recombinants. And vectors may be plasmids, as we said, bacteriophages, cosmids, wax, yeast artificial chromosomes, and BACs, bacterial artificial chromosomes, transposons, etc. The most commonly used vectors are plasmid and bacteriophage vectors. And one of the vectors that we were talking is PBR322. And in this PBR322, we said there are certain features. One is ORI, origin of replication, selectable markers, cloning sites or recognition sites. And now in this session, we are going to talk about vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. Agrobacterium tumefaciens. I want you to remember this. So practice spelling also. This is Agrobacterium tumefaciens. It's a pathogen of dicot plants. It is a pathogen of several dicot plants. Is able to deliver a piece of DNA known as tDNA. This is tDNA. And this tDNA is used to transform normal plant cells into tumor cells and direct these tumor cells to produce the chemicals required by the pathogen. Similarly, retroviruses in animals have the ability to transform normal cells into cancerous cells. So TI plasmid, that is tumor inducing plasmid. You can see here TI of Agrobacterium tumefaciens has now been modified into a cloning vector which is no more pathogenic to the plants but is still able to use the mechanism to deliver genes of interest into varieties of plants. Retroviruses have been disarmed and are now used to deliver desirable genes into animal cells. So we must here remember that PBR322 was the first artificial cloning vector constructed in 1977 by Bolivar and Rodriguez. That's how the name PBR. P stands for plasmid, B for Bolivar, R for Rodriguez. And shuttle vectors can exist in both eukaryotic cells and E. coli. Most of the eukaryotic vectors are shuttle vectors. So basically, in the bacteria and virus, these are the two, transform eukaryotic cell by delivering genes. And here you must remember this. Agrobacterium tumefaciens deliver a DNA piece called tDNA and transform normal cell to tumor which produces chemicals required by the pathogen. And retrovirus transforms normal animal cell to cancerous cell. An understanding of mechanism of delivering genes, see this is gene of interest, by pathogens to their host can help to understand the tools of pathogen and can be used to deliver genes of interest in human. Tumor-inducing plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens modified into cloning vector. This is important. and non-pathogenic to plants and have the ability to deliver genes of interest. So our aim is this. We are converting a dangerous organism into a useful organism which gives us or which delivers genes of interest to variety of plants. So retroviruses are disarmed, delivers genes of interest in animals. So when gene of interest is ligated, of course we are using the enzyme ligase into suitable vector transformed into suitable host. So first we have to make a plasmid, and the plasmid should have gene of interest, and normally the gene of interest is coming from Agrobacterium tumefaciens and retroviruses, and of course tumor inducing plasmid. So this gene of interest is attached through ligases to plasmid, and this plasmid with gene of interest has to be introduced into suitable host. So we require a suitable or competent host for this. So how do we introduce? So this is Agrobacterium tumefaciens, as you are seeing, and this gives us, you can see here, gene of interest TA plasmid, and now it is through ligases attached tDNA, and insertion of gene into plasmid using restriction enzyme and DNA ligase. You can see here this red color one, DNA containing gene of interest. So this is attached to that. So TA plasmid now has become a recombinant one because we have attached the gene of interest into this. Now this is introduced into plant cells in culture. Now this has gone inside, you can see here, and the tDNA carrying new gene within plant chromosome, and it regeneration of the plant with a new phenotype. This we are using the Agrobacterium tumefaciens for the better phenotypical characters. And now similarly in animals, so you got a host cell. In the host cell you can see the reverse transcription and viral RNA. Now what we are doing is viral RNA we are converting into RNA DNA hybrid. So you got a DNA and that is introduced into the nucleus. You can see here provirus, the chromosomal DNA. Now the mRNA formation is taking place, RNA genome for the next viral. So this mRNA now entering here, you can see here, and the new one with RNA genome is introduced, and that's coming out of the host cell. And as we said, to increase the number of genes of interest, we require a competent host for transformation with rDNA. So the competent host is very much essential for transformation with recombinant DNA. Many kinds of host cells, including E. coli, yeast, animal and plant cells, are available for genetic engineering. DNA is a hydrophilic molecule, as all of you know. What do you mean by hydrophilic? Hydrous means water, philic means love, loving of water. It cannot pass through membranes, so bacterial cells must be made capable to take up DNA. This is done by treating them with a specific concentration of divalent cation. So that is very much essential. Divalent cation, such as calcium ion, which increases the efficiency with which DNA enters the bacterium through pores in its cell wall. So we are creating a condition where the DNA is capable of entering. Recombinant DNA can then be forced into such cells by incubating the cells with recombinant DNA on ice, followed by heat shock, and then putting them back on ice. So these are the various methods we use. In eukaryotic cells, the term transformation is replaced by the term transfection, as you must observe. Different vectorless gene transfer methods have been used to introduce the rDNA into recipient cells of the animals. Some of the important methods are gene gun method and micro injection. So this is what we do. We use different techniques to make first host competent. What is that we are doing? First one is chemical treatment. Treating hosts such as bacteria with a specific concentration of divalent cation Ca and increase the efficiency and make DNA enter through cell wall of the host. Second, heat shock, sudden change in temperature, mixture of rDNA and host cells. Then incubation of host and rDNA on ice and then placing at 42 degrees and back to ice. Enable bacteria to take up rDNA. This is how we make the host competent. And without any vector, we can also directly inject. So that is called microinjection. rDNA directly injected into the nucleus of the host cell. So we are not worried about the above things that we discussed. It's common for animal cells. And then in microinjection, rDNA is directly injected into the nucleus of the animal cell using capillary glass micropipette, or it is also called microsyringe. Okay, that is what we use in microinjection. And gene gun method or biolistics, host cell bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten, and microparticles are coated with rDNA used for plant cells. See, microinjection is used for animal cells and biolistics or gene gun method is used for plant cells. So in gene gun method, important crop plants like wheat, rice, maize have now been transformed by this method. Already we are having results of that. And then disarming the pathogen. Pathogenicity of vector is removed through disarmed pathogen. Disarmed pathogen vector allowed to infect and host and transfer rDNA. So how is that we are using this microinjection? This is what? Holding a pipette, host cell, you can see the microinjection needle with the foreign DNA, and this is introduced into the host. And another one is gene gun method. Here you can see the gene gun method. In this method, cells are bombarded with high velocity microparticles, and they are made up of gold and tungsten coated with DNA. This method is suitable for plants, as you are seeing. So this is how we make the host competent for transformation with rDNA. We will discuss how this process works, process of recombinant DNA technology, in our next class. Until then,